Greetings everyone, it's IT2. Today I want to make a video response to Craft Chess video about Thanksgiving, and has it changed? He wants to know, like with the coronavirus, he's seeing less cars out on the road, less activity. It is kind of gloomy outside today. It's just started to rain. I just went outside. I kind of like it that way, but I just got back from work, so I had to work today, but I haven't really been outside. I did get this $15 gift card from work at the local grocery store. I was thinking about going and getting a turkey, but I think you have to cook turkeys like an hour per pound. So if you get like what's a good weight, like a 7 or 8 pound bird, it's like an 8-hour cook time. So it'd be like past my bedtime at the time I was done cooking. So I can't really even do turkey today, I guess. But I do have some leftover deer meat that I've been marinating in some thyme and olive oil and apple cider vinegar, lemon juice. Yeah, I should put some Worcestershire sauce in there. I don't know. So I took some of that to work this morning also. It was pretty good. I had it for breakfast. But before we get into that, the COVID stuff, I wasn't really taking it that seriously because I kind of figure I'm immune to it because I've been around 2 people that had it, my boss and my coworker. But Tina Gilmore from the Gilmore Saga has been messaging me. She's a nurse for transitionary care unit in Pennsylvania or Ohio or something, like right on the border. And she's telling me all these horror stories. Like, people come in to the regular hospital, they get a routine surgery, like a leg amputation or something like that. And while they're recovering, they send them to this transitionary unit. They have recently been getting, like, they're using all the crazy PPE, everything like you're supposed to do, but they're still, half the staff has gotten COVID-19. People that normally wouldn't have any problems at all, any complications, they're coming in there and they're susceptible because they just had surgery. And then they're getting COVID-19 because they're in a place like a hospital where a lot of COVID has been going through there. Like, it's just, a hospital technically is just as bad as going to one of these crazy college parties or a church gathering. So if you're like, even if you're like very sick and dying, don't go to the hospital because you will definitely die. Take your chances and try to just bear through it somehow at home. Like, I don't know. Tourniquet yourself if you have your leg cut off. I don't know. What do you do? If you go to the hospital, you're definitely going to die. But if you stay home, you're definitely going to die because you're not in the hospital. What do you? There's no options. So, yeah. So now I'm kind of taking it super serious. Because she had somebody die on her. I thought it was the one that she was telling me about that had the leg amputation, but I think she just recently died on her. She's like 3 or 4 people died on her already. And she was telling me this story of how she didn't break any HIPAA laws because she didn't give me any names. I don't think that's how that works. But basically the O2 stats started dropping, and she had supplementary oxygen tanks, so she started turning it up. And it started going up a little bit, but then it started dropping again. So she turned it all up to max, like 5 or whatever, or full bore, like as much oxygen as you can give them. And the stats keep dropping. They can't get any oxygen into their lungs, which makes me think the COVID virus is almost like a what do you got, asbestos or sawdust or something, like gets into your alveoli in your lungs that absorbs the oxygen molecules, and it kind of clogs it up, like physically. It's not even like a virus attacking a cell. It's more like there's so much of it that it kind of clogs up your lungs where they can't get oxygen into them. But then here's the weird part. As scary as like giving somebody full bore oxygen and they can't get any oxygen, as scary as that is, somebody else will just drop because of cardiovascular reasons, because of maybe it's getting into your bloodstream and it clogs your bloodstream up and you just like have a heart attack from it. Like, I don't know how it works and nobody can figure it out. So I'm not sure how they figured out an antivirus for it or a vaccine. So COVID's pretty fucking scary, even though it's not really around as much here, I guess, as it is other places, because she's right outside Pittsburgh, so it's kind of like a mini Philadelphia or New York or whatever. But that's why I think there's probably not as many people going to visit their families and stuff. Like, I didn't, sometimes when I lived in Lexington, I didn't go see my parents on Thanksgiving every time. Sometimes we, like, if it's on a Thursday, we might do it like a Saturday, or I was always working on weekends though. That don't make sense. We do it at random times, so nothing, like, you didn't really have to like meet up on the exact day. So I haven't seen my grandma like all year, so eventually we'll get around to seeing them, I hope, if this ever like normalizes. But it's not worth the risk to like get somebody killed. So anyway, here's how my day started. My dog wakes me up like 3 in the morning wanting to go outside. Recently, their neighbor over here has a white dog out in the backyard. Thought she might have heard it barking and wanted to go bark at it. So I let her go outside and I hear her barking. I hear another dog barking. I'm like, okay, her and that dog are just talking to each other. They're barking. Go back to sleep. It finally gets a little louder and a little crazy, and I wake up and I'm like, well, let me go see what the deal is out here. And I go out. She's not in the front yard. She's in the backyard. I go back there, and she's like fighting off coyotes that have appeared in my yard. And I see that my deer head that I left in the backyard next to a tree has been moved. So these coyotes must have been chewing on my deer head I left back there. And then she was like fending them off. Like one of them was like near the pond. One of them was like she was barking at one over in the side bushes behind the church. So I didn't even see that one really good, but I saw the other one I think run off. And then I went it went behind the pond. I could still see its eyes. So I like walked forward to try to like scare it off. And I see a fucking possum sitting by my big tree. And it's just like sitting there, looking over its shoulder at me, not moving. So I'm like shining my flashlight at it. I'm getting like 10 feet from this thing. I'm like, hey, you see me, right? Why you're not running away? So then I'm like, okay then. I went back in the house, got my air rifle. I went out, fucking shot it in the head. And it's still sitting there looking at me. I'm like, oh my God. Is this like a fake possum? Or is this supposed to be what everybody says when they say is playing possum? Because he's sitting there like, God damn it, that really hurt, but I gotta fake it. That's the only way I can survive is by pretending that I'm not here. It's like those spiders that cover themselves with dust and they're like, you can't see me, so I can't see you. It's like sitting there. So I shoot it again. And it finally starts like walking off like, God damn it, I can't pull off this fakeries. And then I shoot it again as it's walking away. And I guess it got down to the pond and I went just a while ago and looked for it and I couldn't find it. So that was a tank of a possum. It just absorbed 3 shots. Maybe something's wrong with the air on my air rifle because the trigger's fucked up. It seemed alright last night, but it'd been like you pull it full on and it won't shoot. So I need to adjust the trigger, make sure the air's like not leaking or anything or something. Anyway, so get to work, take my deer meat, eat that for breakfast. Had it on some biscuits. Nobody was there today except me and this other guy, and he was like, he brought something. It looked like a little red explodey barrel, like you'd seen in a video game. And I was looking at it, I was like, "What is this?" And I started spinning it. He's like, "Oh, you don't want to open that." I was like, "Huh? What's in this?" He's like, "Oh, it's a grinder." So he brought him some weed to work, and then we went up on the roof, and he started smoking a joint. It's pretty funny. I actually had his girlfriend the other day on the phone. And he was having her flash him and like showing me like, hey, look at this girlfriend's tits, like flashing him. And also here's a video of my dog where she took one of the deer legs I threw around the back, and it was like as big as she was. I wish I got it on video, but she's carrying it. And I went and got my camera. I went and looked, and she was like burying it in the leaves, and I caught her. And kind of surprised her. Don't put. Hey, what are you doing? Yeah, so I've also been looking online to try and find a new computer because this one, I'm still using Windows 7. I realize how outdated that is. I'm still using a 1060, 1070. Yeah, a 1070 MSI video card. So now they're up to like 2100 series, I think. But like those are crazy expensive. So I'm looking at like a Windows 10 MSI pre-built, so I don't have to put it together myself. Like a 10 or a 2070. It's like a renewed Amazon renewed one, so it's like refurbished, but they guarantee that it works. But it's like you don't get all the peripherals or something that you would normally get. Like the mouse and the keyboard might be weird or different or something. So I don't really know about that. It's like $1150, but normally they're $1,500 or $1,600 or something. So you save like $350. I don't know. The only thing I'm worried about is like now they have like DisplayPort instead of HDMI, and I don't know if any of my TVs actually have a DisplayPort on them. So they have one HDMI, and then I think the rest are DisplayPort. So that's what you need for VR. So that'd be good. But if you have 2 monitors, what do? Like this monitor I'm looking at right now, this one's a DVI, I think. So I'd have to get a whole new second monitor. And then I have to move this whole computer over here to this desk, which isn't a good desk. So I'd have to like really rearrange some stuff. I'd have to figure out a way to like get a surge protector over there because there's not enough outlets in this room. It's a whole big mess. Plus, no, the DisplayPort was there. Yeah, like it doesn't say like what kind of motherboard it has, so I can't see like what kind of SATA ports it has, like if I want to put another SSD in it, or if I have to put HDDs for the disk drives in it. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good deal to get one of those pre-built ones where you can't. But then if I make it myself, all the parts are going to add up to probably be like way higher. Plus, I want to get a VR system eventually, you know. But you can't get the Valve Index. It's not even available now. It used to be like a 6-month waiting time. Now it's like you can just get the base or the headset. You can't get the knuckles anymore. So you can't get a whole set. So I'd have to get like an Oculus Quest or something, which only has a limited amount of games. And you can't. Well, if you want to play Steam games, you got to hook it up with a wire, a cable link or whatever. It's like so much. Like every VR set has a downside to it, and I hate that. I don't like any of them, like all the way. Anyhow, I was going to show you guys a picture of my meat cutting station where I was in the kitchen. I moved it all inside the kitchen. I was doing it there, listening to some Christmas songs, really having a good time in there. And I've been trying to make a Spotify Christmas song playlist. I think it's pretty dope. I'll show you that picture, and then I'm planning on having to skin and gut and process a whole nother deer Saturday because I'm going back out there hunting again. It's the last day of, or Sunday's the last day of modern gun season. If I kill one on Saturday, am I going to go out there again on Sunday? Maybe go for 2 deer? Maybe. If I can figure out a way to cram them into my fridge. Because now I've got that first one all the way into the top freezer, and it didn't take up as much space as I thought it was going to take. I put a picture on Facebook of me posing with my deer, and it's just like a bunch of meat behind me. It's pretty dope. But the whole freezer is like not even half full. And I got 2 big gallon bags of like dog food stuff that normally if I had a meat grinder and one of those vacuum sealers and stuff, I could make me some sausage, put some like marinades in there and like make it taste different ways. So maybe I'll kill a couple of deer, put the hams or the front legs or whatever like the crap meat is, put that into some trash bags, take it to a processing place and have them grind that up into sausage and jerky or something for me. And then the rest of it I'll cut up into steaks and try to fill my freezer up where then I can supplement my deer meat with my rabbit, squirrels, turtles, fish throughout the year. Mushrooms, spring mushrooms. You can go like 2 months on just hunting mushrooms. And that'd be pretty self-sufficient as far as meat goes. You still need side dishes, but I really like this whole plan. And I got to get a garden going and a truck. But, so my plan now is I went down there. I had my trail cam set up on my pond where last year I kept seeing deer tracks there because I think deer come into my backyard pond and they drink from it. So I'll set this bad boy up back there and I've loaded it into the computer. We're going to look at it and see what we got on there. Maybe we got nothing. Maybe I didn't do it right. Maybe we got something crazy. But when I get done with these pictures, I'm going to put it back outside. My tree where next to that possum was sitting, there's a branch that kind of comes out like an angle like this. So I'm going to set the camera kind of looking down on my yard. I'm going to put that deer head and a leg, leave it right there, see if those coyotes show up again in the barn and I can get them on camera eating it, maybe fighting each other. I don't know, maybe a possum, see what all I can find. So, and let's go to here. Oh, there's this. Oh, no, we did not get anything. What the fuck? There's a picture of me looking at it. How did it not work? It's taking pictures here, obviously. This was before it took a picture of me, so this is when I just set it up. And then 11:26. This was just now. So it was working the whole time. It just didn't take a picture of anything because nothing came through there. For like over a week, I think. Nothing triggered the motion sensor. Well, I guess no information is still information. So we know that there wasn't any deer in my backyard. Like here's like just now, I think. Looking at the ceiling. Or one of my ceilings when I came in the house. What the heck? That's not even my house. That looks like the back of the church. 2:39 p.m. That's in the future. Oh my God! I'm about to get robbed. Someone's about to steal my camera and run off behind the church with it. That's today. 2:40 p.m. I must have the clock set wrong. Or daylight savings time didn't kick in. That's what it was. Yeah, daylight savings time. I thought I had a time machine. Okay. That's pretty much how my Thanksgiving's going. I'm just gonna go cook up some deer meat and maybe some mac and cheese and some stovetop stuffing. And finished all my Star Trek Discoveries. I don't know what I'm gonna watch tonight. I kind of wanted to mention about like my old Friday night ritual or Monday night ritual. When I used to get the pizza sticks or whatever. The Shane Jensen deal. I used to have this ritual on Sunday mornings that like my mom and dad would go to church. I think my brother went with them too. I would wake up. This was right after I declared myself an atheist, I think. And I would get like, I'd take a hot shower. I'd get a robe. And my mom would usually make these cinnamon rolls. And I would go eat cinnamon rolls in the recliners. And then my brother and his girlfriend, I guess they started kind of taking over the recliners on Sundays. I couldn't do that anymore. But I used to have a Sunday morning ritual. It was pretty dope. I need to start making cinnamon rolls again, though. Those are easy to make.